Welcome everyone. In this video we will be talking about debugging Node.js applications. So till now we have been creating our application. What if some kind of error occurs in our application? I want to see the flow of execution of my program, or I want to debug my application. I want to find out some kind of errors. This process of finding out the errors in your application is called as debugging, and it is really important for you to understand how you can debug the Node.js applications. So for debugging we mostly have two options. One is using a dependency called as node inspector, and another is using the core Node.js binary inspect option. And earlier we also used to have a debug option for our applications. So I will be talking to you about both of these options. And let's talk about the first option, which is a node inspector. So node inspector is just simply a command line module. It's just a package that we install, just like Express and HTTP. It is also some kind of module that we need to install in order to use it. So but you can see that since the version 6.3 of the node package node inspector, Node.js has provided a built-in DevTools based debugger which mostly deprecates node inspector. So this node inspector is basically a utility that was used in earlier versions of Node.js, but now the Node.js itself supports debugging, which is the second option, which is core Node.js binary inspect debug option that we will be talking in a moment. But to get started with the node inspector, it's as easy as possible. Just go ahead and install it as a global dependency. The global dependencies are meant to be just serving it. These are the type of dependencies that you don't need to include in your own project. They will be available for all the projects. So you install it globally, which means make the dependency available for all my projects. And then you execute the command node-debug followed by your file name. This is all that you need to do, and you can check out the documentation about node inspector if you want to do that. But I don't want to focus on node inspector as it is some kind of deprecated thing. We will be using the second option, which is core Node.js binary, which is the latest option. And this is really useful option, because we will see in a moment how this option works. But for that we need some kind of Node.js application. So let's take the example of hello-express. We created an Express application in previous video, and let's see how it works. So let's stop the application, list all the files. If I try to execute the command node hello-express.js, this is going to start my application in a normal mode, which is it will just run my application thinking as it is completed. There are no errors in my application, and it is ready for deployment. But if I want to debug my application, then I can add another option after the node, which is debug. Please note that debug option has been deprecated, as we get the warning that it's a deprecation warning. Node debug is deprecated. So the node debug is deprecated option. We don't have access to it for right now, and I don't suggest you to use it, as it will be removed in future videos, and this will not be worth learning the debugging. So instead of debug, we have another option, which is inspect. So whenever I type my option node inspect hello-express.js, this starts some kind of WebSocket. So WS is just like HTTP, it's a WebSocket protocol. It allows you to send the message continuously in real time. So it started at some port, which is localhost 9229. But I want to show you how you can go ahead and access this using Chrome web browser. So if you start the Chrome web browser, and you type about colon, let me zoom in for you. Let's zoom, enable the zoom option, and let's go ahead and okay. So in the URL bar I will type some address which is about colon, let's get this one side, inspect. So the address to type is about colon inspect. This is going to open the inspector menu of the Google Chrome. So let's hit enter, and you can see that over here I see my application hello-express.js. It's a file that being ran on the local host, and I can just click on this inspect to open the Node.js inspector, and you can see I got my application source code present over here. If I go ahead and check my terminal, let me close the extra terminals. Yeah, this is my terminal, and it says, it just tells you with this kind of arrow that my current execution of the program is at this line, const express is equal to require express. And if I hover my mouse over this express variable, it says it's undefined. So for now my express variable is not yet defined. It will be defined when this code executes. So I can just go ahead and press the step over next function call, and this just go ahead and fills this. Whenever I step over the next function call, this adds a value to my express variable I created earlier. So it's something like create application var app is equal to function request response next, and something like that. It's some kind of object and doing something else. And now my application variable is not yet defined. If I just skip over, and then you can see my application will have some value which is request response and next, and it will have express f is equal to create application, which was the previous function call. So it was a function, create application was a function which provided a which is the value of express, and over here the value of the app is also a function that will be request response and a next. So if I try to get the slash route, similarly I can just go ahead and step over my code as I need it. And this button is for resuming the execution of my script. So if I resume everything, now my application is going to start, and over here you can see the server started at localhost, and you can see the complete log appearing over here. So a debugger is attached, break in hello express line number 5. Then we created an application, the program stopped over here, we configured our routes, and all that stuff went like this. So this is something you might consider debugging your application. We will be talking a lot more about debugging as we get further in the videos, but for now I just wanted to show you some kind of introduction to the debugging, that this step-by-step execution of the flow can be visualized with the help of debugging. Your program errors can be figured out with the help of debugging. This is something that you need to understand for right now. So that was the debugging we just saw using Chrome. And if I go ahead and open my Firefox web browser and open another tag about inspect, and you see that this address does not look right. So in config inspect, okay, let's see, about config is just great. So for Firefox I don't know how to do that, but if you will search the internet, I think you will definitely find it. Open inspect menu in Firefox. I know about a small trick that you can open it using this, about by opening the development tools, which I opened by pressing the F12 key, and over here you can just go ahead and search somewhere over here. Let's see the debugger. In the debugger, let's see this, and I have a site which is DuckDuckGo, which is my search engine. Modules, extension, content, somewhere. I don't know how to do that with Firefox. Inspect element from Firefox web developer inspector. So let's go with inspect element, tools, application. Let's go check that out. We don't have any application running. I don't know how to do that using Firefox, but the Chrome will be your friend in the case of debugging. So that's all. I think that's enough for the video. We will see you in next video.